How you doing, everybody, and welcome. This is Oscar. I want to take the opportunity in this video to simply explain what's happening later today with the Federal Reserve and why Jerome Powell, the Fed chairman, is in everybody's mind right now. And later, I'll tell you what I'm doing as a cryptocurrency and stock market investor, all right? So this is what you need to know about January 26th, and later on this month, it's going to get hot out there. Sit down, relax, and enjoy the show. Like, subscribe, and turn on those notification bells. So, guys, we know that the United States is experiencing a 40-year, 7% high inflation rate. Definitely something we haven't seen in a long time. We had the pandemic in 2020, and ever since, the government has been giving out money, stimulus, inflating the economy, keeping it afloat, which that's fantastic. Of course, the ramifications is that now we have inflation and we have some issues out there. So the Fed comes, and throughout January, they've been having meetings and altering and really changing a lot of the values in the economy, especially in the stock market. And as we see thus far, NASDAQ coming from almost 16,000 points all the way to 13,000 points. And thus far, as of today, it's coming up pretty nice. Could it be a bull trap? Possibly. But what's happening later today at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time is a meeting with Jerome Powell that he's going to have and tell, okay, what are they doing? Are they going to increase the interest rates or decrease the interest rates? So here are the two options he has. If they increase the interest rates, what's going to happen is going to slow down the economy, probably causing major and ultimately more pullbacks in the stock and cryptocurrency space. But some analysts are saying that that can also cause a recession long term, which is pretty serious, right? But that's what other people are saying. If they do not increase the interest rates by a lot, typically I don't think they're going to decrease the interest rates at this point because they don't want to stimulate the economy more since inflation is already very high. So they could increase the interest rates by a lot, so the 7% inflation rate is not growing by next time they calculate, or not increase the interest rates by a long shot, so everybody here in the stock market and cryptocurrency space feel a little bit better with their investments. Bull come in and continue elevating the price of Bitcoin at this time, 38,000 plus. Can you reach more than 38,000 by the end of the day? Let me know in the comments down below. So that's simply what's happening in the stock market and cryptocurrency space, and the Fed has that choice. I mean, basically, Jerome Powell, it's been in the hot seat for a while, but in a way, we know that that's happening thus far in 2022. It's been telling us for a long time in 2021 the direction of this economy now, as he is trying to rebalance the balance sheet, stopping the money to capital markets, and increasing the 10-year bond rate. So thus far, those are indicators that that person, Jerome Powell, is starting to get the money out of the economy and coming back to the government, right? Which is pretty good to the Federal Reserve, slowing down that inflation rate and allowing for things to get back to normal from that monetary standpoint. Got it? That is, in a nutshell, what simply is happening today. We'll see what's on everybody's mind after he announces, because at this time, the cryptocurrency market on CoinMarketCap is looking at 1.72. Like I was saying, can this be a bull trap? Because, I mean, we were at 1.55, and then all of a sudden, in a couple of days, 1.72 trillion with a 4.69% increase. If that interest rate, as he's going to announce, is much higher than a lot of people anticipate, definitely we can see a drop immediately. And if there's something that you have to know in the cryptocurrency space, and we crash very fast, Bitcoin at 38,000 right now, definitely signaling a nice recovery. When it comes to the markets, we were at 13,800 earlier this day, which is right here, 13,800, thus far 13,776. So one of the things that you also have to understand, that when it comes to the markets here in stocks, they also change rapidly, and pretty much everybody is expecting to hear what's happening later on. Some analysts and people speaking right now at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, so it's gonna be here, and there's of course links all over. Just take a look at this one from Jordan, saying pre-market candles on NASDAQ looking very sexy as traders square up ahead the Federal Reserve. The meeting today live means everything on the table, including a possible surprising rate hike, as we've been discussing thus far. Hopefully markets have warned Powell enough about doing such a thing. So there's a lot of people saying, right, Are you going to increase the markets? Well, we're going to start shorting the market and everything's going to be back to that was last week when things were not looking great. Federal Reserve policymakers are poised to signal for the first time interest rates hike since 2018 and discuss shrinking their bloated balance sheet as they seek to restrain the hottest inflation in 40 years. Why is that important? Because, well, inflation high, definitely making everything more expensive. Thus far, the fear and greed index on the crypto markets, embodies that it was from 10 or so, 10, 12, now at 23. Definitely more people looking ahead at positive news here from the Fed. So that's what you needed to know. Quick, simple, and realistic. Let's see what happens. What I'm doing with my portfolio now, nothing. I've already bought such nice long positions. Even if the stock market and cryptocurrency market crashes, I'm going to continue holding and buying the dip. Definitely. A lot of people in this case do not think that we're going to continue rising a lot because they expect continuous crashes coming from last week too. Bitcoin almost $30,000 last week at 33,000, so $5,000 increase in less than a week. So what happened today is going to determine if we're going down less than 30,000 or above 40,000. So pretty interesting, right? And on the stock market perspective, Nasdaq, S&P 500, Dow Jones, relatively doing okay. If you take a look at the long charts, thus far in 2021 was a nice growth year. That is exactly why Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve Chairman, is saying, okay, I think it's enough. Inflation is super high. I think it's time to make a pause and go back to normal. So people start going back to jobs because definitely increasing the interest rate in all terms, mortgages, credit cards, student loans, and much more, it's going to make people say, okay, this is now more expensive to borrow, so I don't have to borrow more because I'm going to be paying more back in interest. So it's all going to kind of come back to normal, and they haven't done that since 2018, according to Bloomberg. So definitely it's going to have a ripple effect in the entire economy, not just on this. So there you go, guys. That is exactly what this whole experience means for you as an investor. Are you selling? Are you buying? If you're a trader, I think today is a great, amazing day for you because you can start buying the dip and sell when it rips. If that's the case, if you're long-term investors like me, this doesn't affect us too much. We know that at any point in time when you dollar cost average in DCA, the long term always wins. If you're waiting for the dips all the time, that also it's an okay strategy. Thank you everybody for watching. This was the Simple Explain what's happening later today in January 26th, and of course the rest of January and possibly these upcoming months. So let's be ready, always ready to buy the dip and hold long term. Everybody go ahead, like, subscribe, turn on those notification bell, check the links down below for your free Bitcoin stocks, and go ahead and join my Discord page on Patreon if you want more info from me behind the scenes. Peace.